How do's biatches? So it is Monday, which means another update day. I know I haven't been chucking up videos, but don't worry about it, it's just busy in real life. It'll go back to normal soon enough. So either way, let's get into it then. So the update is the Dominion Tower and a Snowverlord, which is basically a seasonal boss, so yeah. Well, DT, as you probably already know, is combat level 110 plus. You need to have done at least 20 selected combat quests. There's ones in particular. They're adding rumble mode to it, which is, well, it's a multiplayer version of DT, I guess is the best way to put it. Whilst you're doing Rumble Road, there's some random orbs which will just come to you, and this is like the boost orb, which doubles your Dominion factor, gives you infinite adrenaline, heals everybody by blah blah, and imparts a random effect. So, yeah, it's Rumble Mode. You can do it with 1 to 5 people. You go in, and there'll be a bunch of bosses in there. If you're in a group of 4 or 5, then the most bosses that'll just magically pop up in the battle will be 10. And we've no idea how many if it's lower. But yeah, it's basically multiplayer DT. So that's the thing. And you can do it solo, so if you want to try it out, you can do that. And it's, well, it's kind of like endurance-ish, I guess. There's a couple of mobs, so there we go. All in all, happy days. So it's an update to Dominion Tower, and alongside that, as you'd probably expect, comes new bosses from the latest quests, which weren't in DT until now. And this is stuff like the mobs from Diamond in the Rough, Branches of Darkmire, Firemaker's Curse, Death of Chivalry, Ritual of the Majora, World Wigs, Mighty Fall, Birthright of the Dwarfs, One of a Kind, and Glorious Memories. So yeah, there's a few in there. LOL and Yelps will be kind of annoying. Well, LOL more than anything if I remember rightly. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was a pain in the ass. But yeah, the rest, nah, not so bad. But yeah, new bosses, happy days. Additionally, new rewards. So the Dreadnips can now have their combat styles switched. Just right click them to make the change, and they're better at finding targets too. Dominion markers will now grant you increased combat stats from tier 2 up. A prayer bonus when planted. What? Dominion markers now grant you increased combat stats and, from tier 2 up, a prayer bonus when planted. Right, that makes more sense. There's also a new upgrade tier for the Dominion Medallion, meaning better stats, more teleports to the tower, and Stull Universal Accuracy buff. Rack up 1800 kills in Rumble Mode to unlock it. So there we go. Please note that the double kill counts for unlock bonuses that's active this weekend will not work for unlocking this new item tier. So for those who wishing to bum rush it, yeah, it's not happening, son. And the other thing is the Christmas boss, Snowverlord. Yeah, well, it's a Christmas boss. So you can go have a little poke at him, you know? I really don't think there's much else to say about it. So yeah, the monstrosity will manifest at the same time as every second wilderness warband and can just appear north of Fowley, the Varrock Grand Exchange, south of Clan Camp, and near Drain Village. The only way to weaken him is to take snow from his body, right click on him to do this, and equip the snowballs you receive and pelt him with them. Dodge his attack, keep up your snowy onslaught, he'll gradually reduce in size. Once he's sufficiently weakened, you'll start to move from his original spot. Once this happens, it's up to you to lure him to the Lumbridge Crater, where the most festive of heroes will step in to vanquish the Snowverlord. Everyone who contributes to taking down Snowverlord will receive 2 festive paper and will be able to deliver a second present that day. So there we go, people. We also got the patch notes. Le Paginotes. And there's a few of these, not a huge amount, but yeah. There's a few nonetheless, so let's go over these ends. So, 8th of December, Patch Notes of Doom. The branches of the yew tree next to Lumbridge Church no longer clip through the walls. The Gravedigger top now has arms when keepsake. A house has been added to the minimap in Ashdale. Players no longer render invisibly if a player looks through certain parts of a willow tree. Fix some flickering on a window in the Varrock Sword Shop. Added a transportation icon on the world and minimap for balloon transportation near Varrock's lumber yard. Fixed an issue with drawers clipping through a wall within Brimhaven. Several Varrock emblems have been updated. Suak the Dwarf in the Artisan's Workshop no longer floats above the ground. An out-of-place water source icon on the minimap at the Northern Lumbridge Chicken Farm has been moved. The chain links on the anchor near the entrance to the heist minigame are now fully visible. Removed an unneeded tree from the Malia area of Privthinus. Removed some trees from the Gadan area of Privthinus. The buildings in Lumbridge no longer has green walls or pink roofs, and the wigwams at Cabbage Face Punch Bonanza are no longer blue in low detail. Dropping certain items around energy rifts will no longer cause them to float. Some minor clipping issues in underground paths have also been corrected. So yeah, a few graphical thingy-me-doodads. Well, moving on then, we've got skills and minigames. The camera is now fixed in cutscene mode until the end of the Heffin Agility course. A typo on the D&D tracker entry for Cabbage Face Punch oh my god, I still can't do it. Cabbage Face Punch Bonanza has been fixed. The icons used on the Rune Goldberg machine have been changed to be more identifiable for colorblind players. A particular skilled penguin spy who could hide in a blocked area of his avatar now spawns in a more suitable location. Treasure Hunter item tooltips will no longer display over the reward screen. Moving on to your quests and achievements, the Plague's End boss music no longer plays when music volume is muted. That's probably a good thing, because if I remember rightly, didn't that just magically pop up out of nowhere when you was doing that quest? The combat level for the toughest opponent in the Witch's House quest journal has been corrected. Prevented players from being able to walk around certain swampy sections of underground paths. Players can now complete a certain god emissary task meant for Varrock Square by planting their flag / lighting a bonfire south of the Christmas tree. Players will no longer receive daily challenges for combination potions they have not unlocked. Moving on to your miscellaneous goodness. The camera no longer resets to face north when performing various actions across the game. When delivering tinsel snakes, players with a low summoning level are now asked if they want to claim the summoning XP. Players can now decant 5 and 6 dose flasks back to 4 dose potions via Teplin. A message now displays in the chat box when receiving an expensive drop with the Christmas loot beam effect active. The click zone on the crystal resting animation has been reduced. Lady Ithel now has a bank pin on the crystal seed storage. Extended the bank's healing effect in the Tower of Voices and the Max Guild of Privdinus. All of the whatever clan name titles are now will now appear in the correct clan colours. Soft clay mined in the Ithel area of Privdinus will now respawn at the same rate as normal clay. Dyed noxious weapon special attacks will now work correctly in PvM and PvP situations. Pan-in trays no longer stall damage. It is no longer possible to cast certain abilities faster than normal with manual spellcasting enabled. Crystal pickaxes and hatchets will now protect on death correctly. Probably a good thing. A swamp toad by the Tree Gnome Stronghold has been washed ashore. Implins are no longer able to find their way up the cliff sides at Shanty Pass. Players will no longer disconnect when trying to switch keepsake boots in the Stronghold of Security. The price checker will now display the price of multiple items correctly within Iron Man mode. Fixed a few issues with songs playing in the wrong location around RuneScape. Made various miscellaneous audio improvements, such as tweaking water sounds from some fountains as well as rivers, and updating the God Wars dungeon music tracks. The Gemstone Golem and Rune Ethereal outfits can now be retrieved from Diango if they are keepsaked. And last but not least, we've got the ninjas. Players can now find out how many anagogic orcs they have collected today via right-click option on them. The left-click option on the Charming Imp is now wear as opposed to talk to. The Robin Hood hat has been tweaked for male characters to sit better on the head. The growth stages for oak and willow trees in farming patches have been graphically updated. Presets can now be loaded while an aura is active. Starting horns and racing boots have been removed from the game to stop gambling. Players will no longer see achievement banner text from a player on their ignore list. Several abilities and spells will no longer cause the player to stand still when attempting to move at the same time, causing the player to appear like they're running faster to catch up. So there we go. And last but not least, engine fix. The snow effect in the console has been re-enabled. An issue with bloom within OpenGL being offset when using a resized game view has also been fixed. An animation movement issue in HTML5 has been fixed. So there we go. All in all, Patches of Doom. Plus, Dominion Tower and the Snowman boss. Oh, you've also got the Retro Barrows armor in the Solomon store. So if you like the retro goodness, that is a thing. For some reason, I don't know if it's just me or what, but the armor doesn't look the same as it used to. No? Am I the only one thinking that? It does. It's gotta look different, no? It does look different. Because if I remember, Torag's belly was monstrous, no? Didn't it come out ridiculously far, if I remember rightly? It did, didn't it? Let's be honest. Turag had a big ass belly. Bit of a drunkard. Yeah, it looks different, you know? I don't think it looks the same, personally. But yeah, either way, those are there for you. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop. Pack it in. I'm gonna stop chatting nonsense. I'll leave you to it. It is coming up to Christmas. Happy days. And until next time, people, I will catch you all later. Have a good one.